This is Holly, and I am going to post the link for the Hangout and hope a few folks will surprise me and join today. We've only had RSVP for one definite, Ivan, and one maybe, Daria, so I hope we will see them today and others. So, welcome to the Hangout. And suggested opening topics today were anything that starts with the letter T. So, drinking tea, or taboos, or tobacco, or thunder. So many words, tattoos, many words that start with the letter T. And we will hope that you will contribute some other ideas. And start a lively conversation. We don't have to stay on task with opening topics. It just is something to fall back on when conversation gets too quiet. So, T, the word time, also starts with T, and time flies for me in the springtime. This morning I had lots of time, I thought, to get tasks done. So time and tasks accomplished, but all of a sudden I glanced at the time and had only 3 minutes before this class was starting. So I feel a little not quite ready and caught off guard, but I'm here and I hope a few others will join in. What have you been up to this week? What words come to your mind when you brainstorm the letter T? When I am brainstorming, I often think through vowels A, B, A, B, A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. And so I might think words that start with TA, words that start with TE, TI, TO, TU, TY. Are there words that start with TY? I'm not sure at the moment. Names, Tyler. So this is one easy way to get started brainstorming. And then I go back through and think about whether there are any consonant combinations that start with T, like TH, THR. Are there others? So I go through the alphabet and think about whether there are any other combinations. So using this, I am going to brainstorm aloud until someone joins me, or until I end this hangout because no one is attending. So we will see what happens. So TA, what comes to mind with TA? Task, I've already used. Tab, tack, tad, tangent, tag, tag along, take, taken, talk, talkative, talkative. Tam is a type of hat. Tangerine. Tangerine is sometimes a nickname for our current US President, Donald Trump, because tangerines have orange skin and Donald Trump often has an orange-ish skin tone. So I see a note from Ivan that he's trying to join and having a problem today. Make sure I have the link correct. Share it again. So tangerine, tank, not my favorite word. Fish tanks are okay, but tanks as in military vehicles, not my favorite thing. To get a tan, we can simply use tan. Tap, tape, tapped. Tar, tardy, tarpaulin, tarp or trampoline is what I was trying to think of, trampoline. So once you start, you often can think of many more words. Tusk, an elephant tusk, tusks, trunk, so we can use trunk, the trunk of an elephant and the tusks of an elephant. I see a note from Ivan that he's trying to join us. I repasted the link, but some challenges. I don't know if those challenges are something I am doing. Sometimes I'm guilty of causing trouble without intending to. I don't have many tabs open, so I'm not sure what might be causing a challenge. So here I went through TA, and then I thought in my mind TAB, TAC, TAD, TAF, went down through the alphabet to try and think of more words. And then I go back and do the same thing with TE. So T, to drink tea, tear or tear, as in rip, tense, tentative, a lot of TE words, tent, odd, any ideas? So Ivan might be feeling a bit tense as he's trying to join the Hangout. I don't understand his comments. He's making a not pleasant remark about Ning, the platform that our 7H website is housed on. But this is Google or YouTube that the Hangouts are held on. So back to TE, meanwhile. So tense, tentative, terse, tertiary, terrible, telltale, and tattletale. Tattle on someone is to tell someone's secret or talk about something someone has done. And here he is. He found his way in. Hello.
Hello, hello. Do you hear me?
I hear you fine. So why are you
Yes.
insulting Ning? Why was Ning your challenge?
Mm, okay, because I don't know how to get this link, Hangout link to my notebook. Because Ning doesn't work on my notebook, never. And I have to use my mobile to go to mobile link, then find the chat, then get a link, then copy it to my Telegram, then go to Telegram on my notebook and copy again. So I need like
Wow.
10
Wow.
actions. But I know
Wow.
that you like this link chat, you know. But my advice is share link somewhere, you know, accessible.
Somewhere else. Yeah, the only challenge, of course, is I want it to be for 7H members only. And that's why I don't share it publicly. Um, but I'm curious why Ning doesn't work on your tablet. It should.
No, no, maybe it should. I don't know, but should we discuss it? I don't know. I know you love
Well,
Ning, but
yes, because I want to know if others are having this challenge, so we can at least share that. If other people are listening to this and are equally frustrated with not being able to find their way to these hangouts, please let me know. Um, I've considered sharing the link as a reply to the, and I can send it, and I will in the future send it to anyone who's registered. I can send a message to you
but
easily.
it's what we usually do. You know, we usually I get this link from Gerard or from Vasant or from someone else in our comfy Telegram. You know, without all these things. But because today I am first one, I should to solve
Gotcha.
this riddle. Yeah, and
Yeah.
now I send it to Vasant and Gerard because we all know how it's usually do.
Huh, so they have trouble with this. See, I thought Vasant said he doesn't usually have trouble with the chat. Interesting. I'm most curious about your saying that you can't get it Ning to work on your tablet. This week when I met with tutors, 3 of them had tablets and had no problem bringing up the site, and the chat popped right up. So that surprises me. I don't know what that would be, but so we can use T for terrible, terrible experience on Ning Chat. Yeah, interesting. Huh. Um, yeah,
And
that's
Gerard wrote me that he's on his train from Barcelona and will be a little bit late.
okay, but might join us. Nice, nice. Yeah, I haven't seen Vasant in a few days. India's a lot
He,
of
sh-
India's had terrible weather, and he's been extra busy at work. So,
he shares that he has some problem with internet connection, but I don't know exactly what is that. But it's enough for chatting, but not enough for video calls. So he
hmm.
missed our few last recent classes, the
Yeah, he
talks and so
tried
on.
quite a bit. Yeah. Ah, the joys of technology. There's another T word. So yeah, I've tried on several different devices and have no trouble at all on the chat
Really,
and
I'm sorry, but if I suddenly disappear, it's my battery. No,
uh-oh,
I just
uh-oh.
noticed. Yeah, but I have another one, but I need to reconnect.
Fun, fun. Wow. Well, I am impressed that you went through such a circle to get here. And wondering if
Because I lost any hope, you know, to to convince you to use something modern.
well, I can send a message and that's easy and will. And I've debated trying. I've just had not a lot, but a few uncomfortable experiences when it's shared publicly and oddball characters join. It's easy enough to boot them out or close them, but um, frustrating. So I'm stuck here looking for a pen. Excuse me, one second. I should have an extra right here. Uh, I usually have 95 pens and pencils flying all around and can't find one right now. Send message with link. And my main reason for not joining Telegram at this point is just that I don't want to be drawn into all the other things on Telegram, and I know I will be. I've just joined because I'm going back to New Jersey next week. I just joined the Facebook group for my high school graduate year, Steiner High, 1973. and oh my gosh, like 30 a day or more nonsense things coming at me. And I don't want to add to that. So I don't need Telegram. And I do, as we've talked about many times, want to keep as much as possible selfishly connected via 7H. But it is the way of the world that we are connected in many, many ways. So who knows what might change.
I understand your motivation. I understand that you want all the things together, and you're pretty stubborn, right?
Yes, I am. You've noticed.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
be.
But what can I say? We are here, so it's possible, right? But I very rare I use some positive. I feel something positive about it. It's very rare.
Mm. And
Sometimes
you used to participate so strongly in the chat.
no, no, thank you, no more.
No
You
more.
know, it's just a pain because I don't see my messages. I don't see others' messages.
Yeah.
It's I don't you know I like some sadomasochism, but it's too much for me.
And it's still doing that. Do you think it has anything to do with Linux?
No, it's not about Linux. The whole world works on Linux, but I don't think that you can solve it. It's just just obsolete technology. That's all. That's why that's my reason why because why we don't have other participants. That's my reason because not to share all those troubles, not to get you into that because I know you will invest a lot of time in that, but it's not my it's not my goal to waste your time to these issues.
Yeah, no, and I totally hear that. You're stubborn too, and you're persistent, which I appreciate. Yeah, so you've been very busy on the last 24 hours on the site. 24 hours starts with T. uh, so anything come to mind that you want to ask about, bring up?
I'm trying to avoid my usual soapboxes.
Ah, trying to avoid them. Okay, this will be a challenge. All right, let's try. Let's try to avoid the usual soapboxes. Well, how about the literacy volunteers of Charlottesville, Albemarle? I just posted a reply to your question, which was an excellent question, and it's been a huge change in who the population that comes asking for help is. And in our area and in many cities around the world, there are more and more non native speakers. And not just in the US, but in many areas, trying to find out how to improve literacy, not only in whatever the language is, English or other in other places, but also access to resources and further education experiences, because it does differ a lot around the world, and very much so depending on where you're coming in, where your education level is. So is low literacy a challenge in Russia? It doesn't start with a T,
Uh,
but we can talk about it.
in 1947, it was totally broken up. So after that, we have maybe third of population with high education. Third of population, if I correct it, third of our population high. What's the word for that? I don't know. We graduate like usual school and university. So third of us has university education. We call it higher education, but I don't know how it's in English.
Higher ed. Hmm. Sometimes called
Yes.
secondary ed. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So others that don't make it that high, are they able to find work? Are they able to find satisfaction
Yeah.
reasonably in life? Or is there a need for literacy intervention?
Actually, you can live the whole life in Russia without being literate, have literacy. You 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 don't have to write anything because some clerks will write for you if you cannot, or something like this. So
Seriously. And
yeah,
people are willing to ask for that help without being
yes,
feeling a
yes,
loss of dignity?
yes,
Oh,
because
that's wonderful.
sometimes it's tricky, and you go to special center. We call it multifunctional center. You go there. It's one window. We have clerks there. You can explain your problem, and he or
Ah,
she will fill all the documents, all the writing
oh,
forms,
that's
whatever
nice.
you will.
And that's not the case here. It's very embarrassing, very undignified to ask. You're made to feel a loss of dignity to ask for help, to admit it. So it's
Well,
masked like so many things. Hmm.
yeah, I used this service once or twice in my life because I was not sure how to prepare all these forms right, and I just go there without any doubts, and it's cost nothing, maybe cheap. I'm not sure, but maybe cost nothing. I forgot.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But there
Yes,
is help available where you need it, many times.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's not so here. The literacy centers are underfunded, um, and often tucked away in inconvenient places that may or may not be accessible by public transportation. Much has changed on that end. Now, most centers are locating, trying to locate in accessible places. The center here that LVCA is located in a walkable for many and bus stop right there. And
But also we have social taxi. Social taxi. It's a kind of form when you mm, can ask a special taxi with handicapped person or something like this, or even if you cannot move at all, you can ask clerk to went to your house and fill all what you need. Yeah. So, but it's kind of this kind of thing is kind of rare. It's for very old persons or something like this.
we have something locally called Jaunt, which provides this similar service as well for a very low cost and sometimes no cost sliding scale fee. Uh, so this type of service, I think, will be more and more needy. Um, maybe if we have the driverless cars, it won't be as much of a challenge if those become a reality. Um, but
I agree. I agree. Actually, what we have now it's electronic. I don't know. It's a literal translation, but we have it electronic government.
mhm.
Instead, the whole department of something, you have just a website. You log in there. You uh, do a free tax or something, and you make electronic signature. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
signature, and it's done. You don't have to go somewhere. It's very easy. So we have less and less communications and interaction with humans when you need to solve something. So, for instance, we have to register our cars for government to make a license plate or something like this, and for that we don't have humans for a long time. So it's all electronic.
Hey, there's Gerard. Hi, Gerard.
Hello.
Glad you're able to join us.
Yeah,
Um,
I just arrived.
we're talking about how electronics and technology is making many things easier, but something Ivan just said about how we have less and less human to human. And I don't know if we call this human to human on web camera or not interaction, but what is that doing to us? So we're making things more convenient and letting electronics take over. But how do we just put everything on webcam? How do we build back a sense of human to human? and help fight the loneliness or necessitate human to human.
Yes. For me, it's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I don't have any intention to communicate with clerks or bank workers or something like that. So for me, the website is much better. So I solve all my problems with bank, with the chat, and I don't need to go to
Yeah, but that online e-clerk's life might not be so happy. Such a difference in public service. And Ivan had mentioned that his battery was weak, so he might be
He's
gone.
frozen.
He might be gone for a minute and then back with his new battery. He has
Okay.
a backup ready, but has to reconnect. And you've just come in from a train ride, so you fit the T word fine, huh?
Yes.
Transportation and
I
train.
had to do some errands
Ah,
because my mother departure.
yeah. Probably not the happiest of errands.
Mm.
We just this morning, it's been just about 2 years since my mom's gone, and we just this morning, one more thing done. It takes a long time to tackle all of the little things and then deal with it all up here. Yeah. So anything come to your mind? I haven't seen you in a while. Anything on your mind that you wanted to mention or ask or talk about?
I think new technology has improved interactions because we can reach many more people. How to say? So people from abroad that otherwise we wouldn't have the chance to do so. I knew it. It's incredible. I wouldn't have thought about that.
I feel that way. But so, and many people do, I think. Do you think you would feel the same way if you did not have this web camera component?
Yeah, I know webcam helps. In the future, we'll have a more closer to reality interaction with 3D.
Right.
Like we've seen on sci-fi movies. That people are meeting in a room and they are like they were there. I think in the future we'll have something similar.
I'm still surprised by the fact that so many people have smartphones now in people I communicate with, but so few ever use the video. Take videos of things and post them, but don't communicate by video with people they interact with. And that really surprises me. And I don't know, I ask a lot of people about it, and many have never used Viber or FaceTime or Hangouts, or they don't use the webcam feature. Some with family, immediate family only, some, but most say no. And I wonder if that's a generational comfort level. I don't know what Target and businesses. I'm amazed at how businesses don't offer it and don't show themselves when someone calls. Yeah.
Maybe because that leaves us the chance to have a little bit distance. I don't know how to say that. Or maybe because so many people think that I'm going to meet this guy all the same, so why I do need to see him all the time?
Yeah. Or it might be people on the other end who are like me, who wish they looked better on web camera and worry about such things. Yeah, I don't know. Just I would love it. Would have loved it in my thinking back to working from the office when I spent so much time on the phone with volunteers and with colleagues. It would be wonderful to see them. I still remember when it was hard to keep a video call connected, but easy to keep audio connected. How wonderful it was to hear voices. Welcome back. And the power of hearing the voice. Yeah.
Are you inside of a car, Ivan?
Yeah. So I pick my boys there to play football,
Okay.
and I'm in the car because hall is very crowded. It's not safe to speak English in Russia anymore.
You may be an American spy.
I laugh, but is there some truth to that? Seriously.
Seriously, yes.
Yeah.
People, of course, people will not attack you or something. It's not like that, but yeah, it's something strange. People will think why you use it, why you need it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So most of your comrades don't think that speaking English is necessary. Just Russian.
I think that maybe 99% of Russians never speak other languages and not going to.
Oh, any other language?
No, it's not needed there. We have our lingua franca in this territory. It's Russian.
I thought most Russians knew some other language. Not so.
No, maybe on our borders in former republics of USSR it's so, but not in Russia. In Russia we always speak only one language.
Yeah.
So, for instance, in Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, or something like Romania, maybe Romania, I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe something like Latvia, they speak Russian and own language, but in Russia we'll have only one.
I'm thinking more of the impression I have from living here and growing up here and getting media here is that there's such a drive for education. I'm so impressed with how strong the push for education is in many demonstrated by many Russians. So I have this feeling like part of that education drive is to conquer fluency in a second language or third or fourth. But
well, I doubt. We have in my small village we have about 500,000 population, and we have one English club where you can go to speak in English with someone. And last time when I was there, it was like 9 participants.
9.
Yeah.
You and your brother-in-law?
Yes, he's always there, but I'm too lazy to go there.
Sergey.
Sergey.
Yeah.
So you must be the master, the teacher.
Well, actually not. I mean, we have a lot of English teachers in schools that their subject is English, so they are pretty fluent and their level much better than mine, for instance. But they just don't want to practice it after school or go somewhere or call someone. It's just a job for them, not like a passion. So it's totally not the same in Spain. I had more English experience in Spain than in my whole life before.
So Gerard, what if you were to guess at a percentage of Spaniards that they're Catalans that speak at least one other language?
We try to know at least 3 languages besides Catalan and Spanish, at least English. I think it's compulsory if you go to college. 3 languages.
Interesting. Huh. All the little ways of the world and what's coming. Who the heck knows? Yeah.
But the thing is, in Russia there are not many tourism. Like in Spain, many people come from Europe, so it's necessary if you want to have a proper interaction.
But there's another T word, tourism. So does it start with tourism?
Tourism, yes. It's communication. Everybody is aware that, especially young people, that speaking English is important. It's a way to reach more people from other countries and know other cultures and all these things that looks No.
I totally agree. It's all about economics. So you have tourism, you have a lot of tourists, you have to communicate with them, and also you're part of European Union, and you can work for European corporations and so on. So you need English. But in Russia, English is something like jungling balls. So if you have it, it's just funny. That's all.
Ah, I would not put learning Russian and juggling in the same way.
Mhm.
I mean that I mean
Right,
useful
usefulness. Yeah, yeah.
usefulness in your life. Sometimes jungling is more funny.
And what
Yes.
about communicating with other people from other countries?
It depends. It depends. If that people interested in our products, it's easy. They learn Russian. But if not, we have special department of this foreign department or something like this, so you can communicate through them, something like this. But I know it's incorrect. I don't agree with that, but we are trying to encapsulate our society more and more. I mean, in industry sense. So we're trying to produce more and more. We're trying to. Mm, we have this word in Russia, but I don't know in English. So we are trying to be full circle inside. So we not encourage those contacts with other corporation. It's funny, yes, but it's because of our history. Maybe we used to think that really on ourselves it's something good. So we can something like this, yeah.
I don't think Russia is alone in that thinking, but but not as many countries are in a position to be as completely self-sufficient as perhaps Russia, perhaps a few others. But I think reality is that none of us are being very smart if we try to be self-contained, self-sufficient. But what a tangled mess we are making in this world with protectionism. Yeah, sure.
As I said, I don't like that.
Mm.
I don't intention, but it's very clear. We go in this way, and it's very clear. And there are reasons for that. I know you don't like politics, but there are many reasons for that. And unfortunately, it's not we like to do, but what we have to do.
Now, you told me we were not talking about your favorite topics today, so I won't talk politics. We were trying not to focus on the usual today.
I'm looking forward for the meeting of the year. Donald Trump versus the Rocket Man.
Yeah. Do you think it will be the meeting of the year?
I don't know. What...
I'm impressed, sort of, that Singapore agreed to host it. We have the expression to be quaking, shaking like an earthquake in one's shoes, and I would think any location hosting this would be a little leery of all of the potential for unpleasantness to surround this meeting, but a lot of security detail, no doubt about that. Really? Let me see if I.
Yes, many Russians think that the only proper place to have this meeting it's a Kremlin. we don't we don't ready to excuses or compromises.
So Vladimir Putin would be the referee in the middle.
But also not trying to step in at this point, right? Not ready to talk to him. Yeah, so many mixed feelings I have this week with the Iran. It's just like
Israel.
Yeah, and France and Germany and UK. Yeah, it's a new game. People, if nothing else, we're not supposed to talk politics, but if nothing else, Trump certainly is fulfilling his promise to stir things up. He is definitely doing that.
The thing is, he is ignorant about many things, especially international politics, you know.
Or
So
maybe he's smarter than any of us give him credit for.
I don't know, maybe advisors, you know, but the same said about, you know, Bush Jr. I said he's not very clever, but he may have good advisors, but at the end that didn't prove true to be true.
Yeah. All right. So we need to go back to some other tangent.
Yes, no more politics, no more Me Too topic.
Oh gosh. I tried, Yvonne, to get an answer from the 3 tutors that I met the other day about influence, but we got off on a tangent talking about the Me Too movement and how it impacted the situation in Charlottesville last summer, and we never got back, and then time ran out. It was a shorter meeting, so I didn't get any answers to share with you. One of the tutors who shared that she, since the election, I guess, or whatever starting point you want to give, she's chosen to not get involved in what feels like hurtful arguments. She's choosing to back off. So she did not want to start in with sharing an answer. So it gets sensitive quickly, but I did try. Most of the tutors, not quite all, but most of the tutors I've talked with so far much prefer privacy, at least at first. This kind of platform is new to them, and they want to stay in their little safe space for now. So it may take a while to get participation at any level. So got a few to join. Next step is to get them to post something. So we will try. I always go back to me and wondering what made me so different. I jumped on this as soon as I experienced access to this world of online connecting with others. I love it. So what makes so many people scared, and what makes people embrace it? What's the difference? What's that magic button to connect, to turn on the switch? I don't know. Most of my colleagues still think I'm insane for all the hours I give. And they don't want anything to do with it because they know it means more time, and teachers don't have time. So I don't know what that difference is, but I wish I could put a better trigger. There's another T word. Trigger. Turn it on.
But related to weapons.
Yes, right. That's right. We can't go there either, right? Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang.
Load. Locked and loaded.
Lock and load. Lock and load. Yeah, but why teachers don't have time? What do you think? Why it's so?
Try to ask that with more specific.
You just said that people avoid this online conversation because teachers obviously don't have time. But I don't understand why they obviously don't have time.
Okay, so why do teachers obviously don't have time? I don't know if I used the word obviously or not, but my perception is and experience is that teaching is exhausting, and that many aspects of teaching are not classroom time. They are thinking, planning, cutting, saving, shopping, putting together things for the next in-person go or class meeting time. That there are a lot of after-hour commitments already, and that this just makes more after our commitment. Those that do jump often stay and love it, but getting more teachers, and he's moving, he's cruising, more teachers to try or be willing is hard. Even teachers who are using systems and hating the fact that at work they have to put so much online now, and sometimes get paid time to do that, sometimes don't want anything to do with that. Beyond that, they don't get the power of what it means without some kind of guidance. They're not realizing, not connecting like teacher minds usually do. And it's not at all teachers, but many teachers are the last ones to jump on Facebook, or they're just, I don't know what the thinking is just that makes more connects, more entanglements, which means more connecting, more planning, more time needed to pull things together. Yes.
What sort of teachers are we talking about? I mean, school teachers, high school, college, private?
All.
Mhm.
All. Yeah.
And my question was kind of,
so when I go to the conferences where it really applies. Yeah.
so my question was kind of provocative, but I asked it because I hear the same many times for many professions. The same for IT engineers. We have to learn a lot in our half time, because if you don't do that, you're out of the business in no time. And we also do something like teaching. We do some mentoring for juniors, for new people, for your team, something like this. And I think it can apply to a bunch of profession, to builders, I don't know, to managers, to I don't know, to many. And why we usually put teachers aside, and I never understand that.
Yeah. Maybe because teachers, more than other professions, it's understood immediately for any teacher that there are hours beyond the designated I teach from 9 to 3 hours have to be. And other professions in the past, you could come home from work and be done with work. And it's not so for teaching. It's not so for most professions, I think, now, as you're saying. But I'm wondering too if it's beyond that, if it's like I'm thinking of friends who didn't want to join PTA or school improvement or get their kids involved with sports because it meant more taking over of their time.
I think it's will be fun for you. I can share the most common question of interviews that we do now in IT. So when I hire someone, what usually I ask? Usually I ask projects that you did in your half time, not on your job. And by this project, I will graduate this man or woman or someone, because it's something what we consider like must. So what you do on your previous job, I don't care. I can read that on specification or something like that. Show me what you do for your developing.
And is projects the word you would use translated? Is that what it would be?
We projects not for work, but for you, to master some technology, to learn new language, to something like this. So we all know that you cannot learn something by reading a book. It's nonsense. You have to read book first to apply your knowledge. When you apply your knowledge, you create this pet project. So
Okay, so not necessarily volunteer activities, but projects, commitments, or learning. Interesting. The word projects would throw me off a little bit in an interview. Volunteering and outside of work activities are phrases I'm familiar with, but projects brings to mind different things like gardening. My answer would be the gardening, because that was.
Right, right. It's exactly what you're saying. It was my point. You will answer gardening, but if someone answer gardening me, I will not hire this expert. You know, this this guy. I will not hire that because what now we expect in IT that you spare some time for your education, for your developing by.
And you don't think
So and
gardening
it's
is educational?
maybe, but I'm not paid. I'm not paid for gardening, and I'm not looking for a gardener. You know.
Yes, yeah. No, I totally understand where you're coming from, and I think it's applicable. But it's interesting how my mind thinks differently about passions or projects or volunteer activities.
Yeah, yeah. Many people are not happy about that. We have anti-pet project movement, and
Oh,
it sounds like you cannot ask about my free time on the interview. It's illegal. You cannot do that. But anyway, all ask, and it's just a rule now.
and if I were at an interview for IT, I would try to name a project that was applicable. Um, yeah. Huh. But the word project brings to mind different things, and pet project means there's a sense of passion with it. So it takes away some of the other projects that I could name because they wouldn't be pet projects, but obligatory projects. Uh, uh, and there is a difference there. Interesting.
But you know, Holly, IT guys like doing things related to computing all the time. So that's a passion for them. It's not a job.
Right. That's why
Right.
I say, yeah, I would try and target my answer to apply to the situation. So, I mean, I of course would say loop and 7H.
Jart,
And
you have a strong point, but it was so why when industry was very young. Now industry of IT it's not so young. You know, I'm a pretty old person for this is other passions like I don't know fishing, children, uprising them, something else. But now it's still illegal in IT. You know, it's still illegal. If you saying something on conference on IT conference that you know in my free time I like fishing, give away the.
huh, huh.
Yes. So IT guys are supposed to do in their free time things related to computing.
Yeah, right.
To be the best,
Learning, developing.
to be the best employee, to bring more
Yeah,
money.
the only way. It's not about money. It's maybe kind of, but it's not really about money. It's about your surviving in this industry because in 5 years, all the technology will be different, all of them. So nothing will stay in 5 years. And if you, I don't know, spend 5 years to uprising your to fishing on the river, you will just out of the job.
Mhm.
But it's also unfair because that's not all of any one person, or at least the majority of people have more to them than just one pet project. Although, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Uh, I may have to ask a few friends how they would answer those different questions. I'm hoping to start. Oh, and this starts with T. I didn't even think about it, but I don't know how to do the French accents, language accents on here, but I'm hoping to start in June here in the neighborhood, Tuesday tete-a-tetes. I bought with the money my brother gifted me, I bought a tent that holds 10 or more people, another T word, 10, that keeps the mosquitoes away, and just a mosquito netting tent. And we're going to set it up on Tuesdays out front and encourage and invite people to come, neighbors and people we know, just to mix people up and get people meeting other people and having time for two-way conversations. Probably will become 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 10-way conversations, but trying to get people to interact without their devices or with their devices together and walk the gardens and enjoy my Warren and my hard work here. So trying to get more people outside to appreciate nature and talk with each other and be a good subject. So I've been compiling lists of conversation questions for people to grab if they want something to talk about. This might be a good one. So we'll see if anybody shows up or if they all run away.
Do you have a mobile phone, a smartphone, Holly?
Yes, I have my iPhone.
Eventually, you have one.
Oh, just one? Do you have more than one?
No, I need you were, you said that you didn't want to have a smartphone.
Oh, yeah, I don't use it. I use it when I'm not, that's not true. I was gonna say when I'm not home, but I use it at home now. I use it more than I wish I were using it. And I don't need it as much as many people do, but I love having it when I'm out. Yeah. And there's much I still have to learn for sure, but yeah.
Do you use in America WhatsApp as much as we do in Europe?
Millennials do.
In Spain is a fever.
My daughter and son-in-law keep trying to get me to join, but I haven't yet. I really I really don't want to add to my online time. So I have been avoiding these things now. I had so many years of trying everything immediately, and now I'm in my step back and smile at everybody else trying everything. Not quite as impulsive about it. So we were funny the other day, one of my neighbors and I've been carrying my smartphone with me every time I go for a walk because we have an albino squirrel. Which is, it's so cool to see this white squirrel prancing around, and I want a picture of him to share, and I'm gonna get him right and I've been failing, and I met up with my neighbor and he said, Holly, look at this, you'll like this, and he got some wonderful photos of our squirrel. So I said to him, oh, send them to me, please. Oh my gosh, what a funny pair we were. Combining what we know and don't know. He was on a different phone and he had the pictures. He knew how to send them. I asked him to email them to me and he didn't know how to do that, but he knew how to send them on as a message, as a text message. And he got one of them from WhatsApp from someone. And so we were going crazy figuring out. And then I said, send it to me as a message. That's fine. And so he tried to type my name and he spelled it like this. And I said, no, it's with a Y. So he went back and put a Y, but he had me in his book as IE. So that was the correct one to use. It was really funny. We were laughing at each other. Okay. Say hello to your kid. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
But it was just a joke of how to connect with different little bits that we were familiar with. But we were a comical, millennials would have enjoyed watching and listening to us. But he did share several with me, so I'll be adding a post one of these days with the, it's really beautiful.
Do you have the picture of the albino squirrel?
Yeah, I'm gonna add a post on 7H about it one of these days. But yeah, I have several pictures. He got some really nice pictures. So he told me it was a male, and I said, how did you know? And he said, well, look at this shot. And he thinks there's a female too, because he's sure he's seen a fatter albino with pinker eyes. So he's trying to see the two of them or to get a picture of the other one. They hang out in the woods closer to his house and have been working their way closer and closer to his bird feeders. So, but it was really, I was thinking of you guys and how you would have enjoyed laughing. I could see Joanna in my mind. I was picturing Jo just shaking her head she would grabbed our phones and just done it for us. Oh gosh. So lots to learn still, for sure. So WhatsApp you use a lot, huh? Yeah, I'm not ready. I've been there a few times. I keep going to the main pages of WhatsApp and Telegram, and then I just back off.
In Spain, everybody uses WhatsApp. Even people, these people who don't like technology, they use it. It's the main application. It's the main app of the smartphones.
Yeah, I read more and more that all businesses should have a WhatsApp. It's a way to target your consumers.
And now it's owned by this guy, Zuckerberg.
That's right. Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot that actually. Yeah.
The big brother, our big brother.
Yeah, interesting stuff there that he's dealing with. I mean, it's from his rocky beginnings of whether it really should be his or not in the first place. And then look at him now and look at the challenges now.
Look what a startup can be.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah. Huh. More and more since this latest thing, a few people I know several have said, I'm going to quit, I'm going to leave. And only a few have. Most people have realized there's too much there that they appreciate and aren't ready to give up. I just like not having the tension of stress of feeling like I have to keep up now. This is different. And so when I get to it, I get to it. And if I don't, oh well. So it's a lot to keep up with. Yeah.
So is a spring arrived in your place?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes. It is the season of walking every day and seeing new things every day. And the leaves just came out this week. I love it when it's first leafing out. Yeah, it's been wild weather for both of us. But I guess not as much for where you are. I keep forgetting you're in that pocket of Mediterranean bliss. So I guess you don't really feel the dramatic change as much, huh? But campground that gets you sensing the change in summer coming, right? Busy time for you.
Yeah, next week we are going to open the summer season.
Yeah. With more responsibility, are you feeling excited and ready?
Yeah, I'm feeling ready. I'm elated.
Excellent. Yay. Oh, that's
good.
good.
A change.
Satisfying, right?
Yes.
Satisfying. Yeah. Nice. And most of the morale issues are improving with the...
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I went to 4 days Zen retirement because we had a long weekend. The 1st of May, I think, is it a holiday in your country?
No, not
okay.
Not
Many countries have this day.
Right. Yeah. Probably useful for you at this point. It's been a busy year. Yeah. Oh, I hope it's a much happier season for you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
And I hope next time more people join us.
Yeah, Daria enjoyed when she came. I was hoping to come back. I don't know if the time's a challenge, and there won't be classes for next week. I'm on vacation, so it'll be about a week and a half before I'm back. But I'm going to try and post a few today, so they'll be on the calendar anyway. But I'll be gone for a while, so maybe generate some excitement at meeting the tutors. It's just people coming at things with different focus. I just don't get how you can't just explode with wonder and curiosity and want to try everything, and hard for me to realize that that's not most people, or not the people I'm meeting anyway. So slow. I'm trying to temper myself and pull people in a little more subtly. We'll see. It's a nice classroom setup. They've got the I wasn't sure how to connect it correctly, but one of the tutors that came helped me. So they've got the screen to connect your computer and all the choices, the HDMI 1, 2, 3, and I don't know, there were like 7 choices, and I was working my way down the list and was able to tell me which one is the one that works there. But yeah, so lots to learn. I was smiling, remembering the last time I used that sort of system was in Korea, when everything was in Hangul, Korean language. Not only did I not know which one, but I had a hard time reading. No cues in English. But so been a journey and a long way to go, but fun to hear different things. So good to see you again, and good luck with your opening week, and catch you when you get back.
Have a nice vacation.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Copy the chat and then I'll close it. Thanks.
Thank you.